Good afternoon, everyone. Really, thank you for staying back. And a welcome to our esteemed judges and also for all our delegates. And I got a confession to make. No matter how many times I've done this, it's always the first 5 minutes, I tend to forget what I wanted to say. So I'm going to move on to it. I've been sitting a lot of the case studies today. I think it's really amazing. I get to learn a lot of stuff. So before I start, can I have a round of applause for all the case studies that's being presented today? It's really, really amazing, right? Okay, I'll move on to my slide. I finally remember my 5 minutes. So one of the things that today I want to present about is that I want to talk about it's a good time these days, this generation, this period, where we can solve real problems, right? Why I say that, I'll move into it. But before I move into the content of my entire slide, I'd like to do a short introduction about myself. So it's basically, I'll give you all context about where I come from, how many hats that I've worn, and all my perspective throughout my 20s and my 30s. So, a glimpse in my journey. I started as a network engineer. And network engineer during that time is all about cables. There's no such thing as Wi-Fi and this sort of stuff. And yes, I do look younger than I am, actually. So this was during the early 2000s. So when I moved on to start my own trading business because network engineer was really boring. Have you guys, any network engineer here before, that getting stuck in the server room, cold and alone, and no social company for the next 1-2 years? That's why I quit my job and I started my own trading business. And it was great, right? At the age, mid-20s, I managed to achieve 1.3 million sales with my business partner. And that was my first experience setting up my own business. So, but what happened as in all mid-20s, you get very cocky, you're very confident, you turn complacent. Well, I did turn complacent anyway, and I stopped innovating. I thought, heck, I'm doing so well. Why am I exploring other revenue streams? Why am I not looking at trends? So anyway, long story short, I lost my business and went into a lot of debt because of this business. So next, what I did was, I thought, okay, maybe it's time to move into technology. So I did a startup in 2010. And that was to do on-demand maid services. Okay, we got the concept right, but we used the wrong tech and the wrong business model. Again, I was burned so badly. I practically lost everything, really. Right, my house, my cars. Luckily, my wife stayed with me. So, apart from that, it was ground zero again at late 20s. So next, I took a project in Hong Kong and Singapore. I thought, okay, maybe Malaysia is just not my feng shui place, okay? So I just moved out. I went to Hong Kong and Singapore and went there to work for a while. It was my first experience joining a large global corporate where we deal with F&B products. And so we're moving to restaurants and wow, money in Hong Kong is a whole new level, okay? I was not used to it. When they're talking about marketing budget there, they're talking in millions, and that's only just for like 3 months, right? And I realized one thing, no matter how much money they have, tech in the global corporate doesn't move that fast either, right? They're still very used to doing things the old way. They still want a lot of, people going out to the streets, giving out flyers, and then when you try to promote or at least propose a digital segment or a tech layer to them, they go like, no, we have not done this before. We shall not touch it. So, and that's the end of the story, okay? So anyway, I did my stint there, and then I came back, and I was asked to join Magic in 2014. So I joined a phenomenal team led by a very young lady, Cheryl Yeo, which was in the news recently for all the wrong reasons, but really. So she was really great, really love her to bits. She taught me much, and she exposed my world and my perspective to the tech layer in the industry. So a lot of people think that, to disrupt the business model or disrupt the current trend, we must be a technology company. But that's not true. If you think about it, right, all the existing industry right now is here to stay, whether it's F&B, transportation, anything at all, you can name it. What they need is just a tech layer, right? A tech layer on top of the industry to make things work, right? Okay, Google, all this aside, they started off as a technology company. But I'm talking about transforming the current industry, all the verticals, using just a tech layer. So she exposed me to a lot of this, and she's very helpful. She helped me to connect with the people in Silicon Valley. She showed me her mentors. So really, it's amazing what I learned in that 1 year in Magic. Next, So 2015, it was all about growth and startups. I met so many startups. I know the pain. I know the agony of starting your own startup, right? I went through all that. And then I became the lead digital strategist for all the programs, the projects, and the branding for Magic across Southeast Asia. So really, we did a lot of exposure for Magic that year. It was really a fun time. So fun that I really didn't want to leave. Of course, then after that, Cheryl left. So at the end of 2015, I was invited to join a startup by another founder, the GoCar founder, actually. And he came to me, hey, Alan, I'd like you to join my startup. I really like what you do. You're great in digital marketing. You love growth and expansion. And can you come and help me out? I really need to grow my startup. Then I said, okay, what do you have? He told me, I have 5 cars, 5 locations. I'm barely funded. I might not be able to pay you. And I'm still in the seed stage. Then here I'm thinking, oh my God, do I want to go through this process all over again? So I was thinking and thinking. I was like, oh, in Magic, I have such a nice budget to play with. I get to travel, to Southeast Asia. I get to meet so many cool people. Do I want to hide myself in the corner of the storeroom, call that my office, and then grow the business? Anyway, long story short, and what I did was I took the plunge into being comfortable with the uncomfortable. Because after advisors with all my mentors, with all my friends, Cheryl and all this, they say, hey, why not? You get a chance to change the transportation landscape in Malaysia itself, and next time, maybe to the regional level. So I say, okay, let's join GoCar. So this is me now, CEO of GoCar Malaysia, and I'm in charge of growth and expansion, operations, marketing. We do a lot of personal growth and a lot of team culture as well. So that's what I'm responsible for. And luckily, when I joined GoCar, we were acquired by Tanjong. So I was like, oh, finally we have money coming in. And that was just barely 1-2 months, so I was really, really happy, right? So the whole year of 2016 is just focusing on GoCar's growth. Anyway, okay, so that's the context of where I come from, so you guys will know that everything I say is based on facts. I'm not just trying to pull a fast one over you guys. So why GoCar? Why did we choose to do GoCar? Why this business that we think will be a benefit to the community, to Malaysia, and to the transportation vertical? The pain of owning a car in Malaysia? We, looking at our current status, we are the 2nd or the 3rd most expensive country in the world to own a car, right? The 2nd and 3rd depends on our fluctuation of our currency, which I'm sure you all know why. So, but I'm sure you all agree, owning a car here is bloody expensive, right? And you look at your friends. I used to get so annoyed when my friends from England come to me, hey, I just bought my new Porsche. I'm like, okay, I'm still driving my Nissan. But you all get what I mean. It's really painful owning a car in Malaysia. The road tax, the maintenance, you forgot your servicing, your tires. Oh, I don't want to go into all this. I'm sure you all know better than me, right? Next, another business that we're trying to disrupt is the traditional car rental. How many of you all have rented a car before? The pain of renting a car, the documents you need to go through, the process that you need to go through. Isn't that agony? All I want is a car to use for a day or 2, and you make me waste half of my lifetime just to get into that car. Okay? So there's one business model we're looking at. 2, limited transportation options. As usual, but to be fair, right now, Malaysia, Klang Valley alone, our transportation model is improving, right? You get the MRT coming up, the first line, second line, basically around the region is actually coming up. And that's where we want to fulfill. We want to come in and fulfill the last mile of the business, right? The moment you can take a train from here all the way up to Penang, take our car and drive around, okay? Next, limited car park base. As usual, if you have worked with all the developers in Malaysia, right now, every residential area, apartments coming up, condominiums, could you believe it? They just give you one car park, right? For the amount of money you pay, you get one car park, as if everyone in your family else don't need to drive, right? So we are trying to solve that part as well, which, like I said, is a chicken and egg thing, right? The moment I want to put my cars, the apartments, the first thing they tell me, wouldn't you be using all our car parks? We don't have enough car parks already. And then here we are saying, but you let us start first, you let us use the space, and you tell your residents, stop buying a second car, use GoCar. Next, this, funnily, I thought when I joined GoCar, was the main problem that I was going to solve. together with Grab, of course. And when I pitched this to a lot of developers, hey, we're here to save the environment, right? We want to make a difference. There's just too many cars on the road. Could you believe it? This is actually the last thing on their mind. So I changed my business development deck. I don't bring this up anymore, right? Because to them is that I want to know how much money I can make per car park. I don't care about the environment yet, but I'll do so once I get all the stuff sorted. So just imagine Jakarta and Beijing. Have you guys gone through there? Right? Jakarta, Beijing. Can you imagine how bad was this jam there? So this is a problem that we see that's going to come to Malaysia, and we must make a prevention before that happens. So how are we going to do it? As I mentioned just now, based on we don't have to be a technology company. We just need to add a tech layer to our business. And by adding a tech layer to our business, we solve both problems. Basically the car rental section and also the car sharing part of it. Which means, and I'll explain why technology now will actually enable us to do all this. Any one of you all remember this phone? Right? You all used it before, right? That's why I say you try dialing 010, you get damn annoyed. You just miss one number, and you start the whole thing all over again. And generations these days have changed. We all have changed. We're so spoiled by technology. We're so spoiled by the offerings given by everyone in the industry, regardless of whichever industry. I still remember these days, last time, we're talking about 10, 15 years back, where Uber, Grab, all this doesn't exist. When you try dialing the taxi hotline, you try 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and if you get it in the 40th minute, you're like, wow, this must be my lucky day. Right? I got through. I get to talk to the operator. I get a call for my cab. And if your cab comes within half an hour, you go out and buy your lottery ticket. Right? Yes. Ham understand my pain last time. Okay? So these days, when I was hanging out, so I was giving a talk in one of the uni that time, and I was standing next to the main lobby waiting for my Uber as well, and you see the next group of students next to me, right? They're ordering Uber as well. And when they started ordering, I noticed they keep pressing and pressing and pressing. So the one that was representing me to talk to the students, I asked them, why are they, playing with their phone? He said, oh, the Uber is not coming. I said, really? Yeah, it's taking 8 minutes, so they're changing it to Grab. So you tell me, the instantaneous gratification these days they want is crazy. 8 minutes. They can't wait 8 minutes for Uber to arrive. Last time it took me 1.5 hours, the cab come, I'm so happy, right? So now it's all about instant. Everyone wants that. I want my food to be here. I want my pizza. My pizza don't come in half an hour. I want it to be, I want to get a free pizza. So imagine how fast the pace that we're moving. And last time, we are not able to solve all these problems. But now we can, because to solve this problem, we have technology now, right? It's going faster and faster. Whatever that's available to us right now enable us to fulfill all the car sharing, housing sharing, kitchen sharing, Airbnb, Grab, Zipcar, and WeWork. You notice everything here is instantaneous. You turn on your phone, you can book your Airbnb, your Grab, your Zipcar, and WeWork. So that means I can get a house to stay in, I get my car as a ride sharing to my meetings, or if I need my road trip, I use something like Zipcar, and if I need an office, I just log into WeWork. Everything is instant these days. So next, GoCar is coming in now. Is basically we're trying to promote that GoCar is basically a car in your pocket. Okay, you have a car as and when you need it, and we're trying to disperse. So we're basically distributing all our cars like vending machines. We're putting in the streets, we're putting in apartments, we're putting in commercial areas, we're putting in hotels. So all you need is just the phone to access our car, and that makes it so cost-effective, convenient, it maximizes efficiency, it's very community-driven, right? When we first started GoCar, it's actually kind of annoying. People keep thinking that we are a traditional car rental company. They'll come to us, why isn't the car clean? Why isn't the petrol filled up? I noticed there's a dent on the right side of the car. So that went on for about a couple of months until we start educating our customers. We told them, GoCar is a community-driven service. We'll try to maintain the car as well as possible, but in any case, if you see damages, dirt, the petrol not filled up, please do it as a favor to us for the next person that's using it as a contribution to the community. And what we'll do as GoCar, we'll reward you, right? How much you spend on the petrol, how much you spend to clean the car, and how much the time that you spend cleaning the car as well. We'll reward you because we want to encourage a community-driven service. And that's what GoCar is. So a lot of times, most of our business come from word of mouth and digital marketing, of course. And the sharing economy reduces waste. By you not buying the second car, you know for a fact, how often do you guys use your car? It comes to the point that you take your car, you go to office, you leave it there for 9 hours, that's it. That's a waste of resources. So we are here to change that, change the mindset of economy sharing, right? Sharing economy, sorry. And so by saying that right now, I mean, we're trying to move to peer-to-peer sharing, but that's a different story altogether. And for you not buying your second car, I don't know. So one of the best examples that we give to all our users and how we educate them is that we're telling them, look, to stop Malaysians from buying the first car is almost impossible. Everyone needs a car here, okay? Until our public transportation starts picking up. And so what we're trying to discourage them is stop buying the second car, because your wife, your son, your daughter, your husband will only use the car to run errands, go out for lunch, to go for a short road trip to pick up someone. So just use GoCar, right? And that is the mission that we're going through. Our mission is to move and put a GoCar in every urban area possible where there's our highest traffic of users. Next. Right now, so what I'm trying to say, this is the moment. This is the moment where we can disrupt all industry, solve real problems. And when I say real problems, I'm just trying to explain. I've been sitting on board of, I'm part of a lot of accelerator programs and some of the pitching programs run for startups, for SMEs, and this sort of stuff. And what happens, every time I'm sitting on the judge's side of the table, you get a lot of startups, a lot of business pitching to you, and a lot of them are trying to solve non-existent problems, right? It's fun, it's nice to have, but it's not really solving any problems. You know how many social apps we have outside there? You know how many food delivery apps we have outside there? And so basically, we need to look at the current issue that we have now in the country and use a tech layer to solve it. And that's why I say this is the moment we can do it, right? We have the right technology, we have the community awareness. People now these days, the community around these days, you also understand, you're getting more health conscious, you're getting more humanized in dealing with people, right? You understand the fact that technology will be able to help us. I want to save people, I want to help people. And how can you do it? Using the tech layer. And that's why we are coming in terms of, and also, this is the latest stats I got from Statistics. In Malaysia alone, there's 67.7% internet penetration, right? That's so much easier to reach out to people right now. I don't have to stand at the corner of the street shouting. I don't have to, run a huge concert to attract people to come to my place. All I need is the internet, right? And in Malaysia, we have 22 million Facebook users. We have a population of 31 million, right? So imagine, how easy is it to get our message, our app, our technology out to everyone to start using our business? And yeah, so one of the proud things that we talked about, since last year that I joined in April, until now, we grew 10 times, right? Our user base from 1,000 grew up to 5,000. Our regular users from 30 went up to 500 plus monthly. And the reason why we can't go further than that is because we're limited by the cars that we have, right? Because there's a lot, we're trying to change the policy and understand. So, okay, this is actually way off the charts a bit. But I'd like to bring up, one of the things that most startups that's coming up to disrupt the industry needs the support from the corporate sector and also the government sector, right? So we are a new category of business, and the government don't know what to do with us yet. So we're still bound by a lot of the traditional policies, which we are trying to change right now. And once we can change that, with their support, really, GoCar can become a vending machines across Klang Valley, Langkawi, and all the states that have international presence. So what are our numbers? So I wasn't kidding when I say that we are growing very fast. We started with 5 cars and 5 locations when I joined. Now we have 80 cars around Klang Valley, located in Subang, Balakong, PJ, Bangsa, Monkera. Okay, after a while I tend to forget where's all my locations too. And Langkawi was the latest one. We managed to put in the Langkawi airport. and some of the hotels and also the place of interest in Langkawi. Yes, and all our cars for now is Nissan because they acquire us. Next, we are in 40+ locations, as I mentioned just now, across Klang Valley and Langkawi. 2, our users. See, this is the part where I did the validation. And the validation comes last year when I first joined. I was talking to my founder and go like, are you sure Malaysians will use us? Are you sure they really love their cars? You know, they really enjoy driving and, you know, buying their cars once they have their first paycheck. That happened within less than 6 months after I joined. Total mileage driven in our car was 2 over million kilometers driven. That's equivalent to 50 times around the world. And that's only, and that when that data came out, we only have about 50 plus 60 cars, right? So we utilize more than 50% per day for each of our cars. So what I'm trying to get the message out right now, the time is now for us to disrupt the industry using a tech layer. And right now, I've known so many startups since I came from Magic, right? Everyone that is out there to solve a problem, they're solving it with just a tech layer. They're not building a whole new technology company. They're just inserting a tech layer. Recently, I was mentoring, which I thought was very good. Okay, I'm going to promote a bit for Magic, okay? And what happened was that they created this project called the CER project, where basically they're trying to get the corporate support into pooling their resources to help the startups get off ground, okay? 2 of the best example that I've seen that's happening right now is the Fonterra Venture Lab, right? What they did was that they created a project where to encourage intrapreneurship within the company. Instead of finding outsiders to solve the problems inside the company, they basically built a venture lab within the company to encourage all their staff, team members to suggest any idea solutions they have to solve problems that's already existing in Fonterra, which I thought was a great thing. The next one that I'm very impressed with is the KPMG Digital Village, which I thought was an amazing thing they're doing. You know, KPMG service a lot of clients, okay? So what they did was that they start asking their clients one by one, what problems do you all have, right? And of course, the clients tell them, all these are the problems that we have. And what KPMG did was that they go out and start looking for startups that can solve those verticals one by one. And they bring those startups into their fold, into KPMG. It's called a KPMG Digital Village. And then they use their shared service resources and they groom and mentor them to a level where the startup is able to solve the problems for all their clients, right? And of course, they'll use the product and sell to outside as well. So it's a win-win situation, right? So that's why I say right now is the time that we can use to solve all real issues within the region, in Malaysia, or within the world, right? And we have no more excuses. We have no more excuses saying that we can't do this now, we don't have enough resources, we have no one to help us. Now we just have to make the choice ourselves. Government, if you need the government support, go reach out to them, start changing the policy, become a policy maker, right? You need corporate support. Give them an excuse or a reason to help you. Tell them you can solve a problem within the corporate itself. So this is what we are doing. That's why I say the time is now. And my time is almost up too, actually. Next, I'm going to end this talk with a favorite quote given to me by a good friend of mine, right? And this quote has been guiding me in every decision that is made. Every time when I go out for meetings, every time I need to make a hard decision, I always remember this quote, where you be comfortable with the uncomfortable, okay? And this quote works both ways. When you're too comfortable, you learn to be uncomfortable with the comfortable. And this is basically the guideline I use to make all my decisions. So, thank you all very much for this journey, and you guys have been great.